is the next step that you have in final accounts? And then did you get the practice problems? Did you get the practice problems? Shravya? Okay. So we have done with ledger account. So we need to start with, we have done with the journal entries, we need to start with the ledger. So as we have done with the accounting cycle, how many cycles do we have, Nana? How many phases do we have? How many phases do you have in accounting cycle? The first one is ledger. Is it the ledger or first one? What do you have the first one, which we have done? What is the first step?
Journal.
Journal, isn't it? Journalizing the following transactions is what we have. Like, what do you mean by journal? Journal is nothing but we record all the transactions that happen from 1st April to 31st March, isn't it? And here we have 3 categories. What are the 3 categories that we have? We have 3 accounts. So each and every transaction will fall in any account, any one account. That is, first one is personal account. What is the rule for the personal account? What is the rule for the personal account?
Debit the receiver, credit the giver.
Yeah, debit the receiver, credit the giver. And one important point that you need to keep in mind is the other person giving the company or the other person is receiving from the company. So if the other person is receiving, debit it. If the other person is giving, you have to credit. So you have to pass the journal entries based on the perception that is the other person giving or is the other person receiving from the company. So like that, we try to pass the journal entries. Now the next one is real account. What is the rule for the real account? The rule for the real account is?
Debit what comes in, credit what goes out.
Yeah, debit what comes in, credit what goes out. The next one is, so here we talk about even cash comes under real account. And what are the other things that we consider in the case of real account? Furniture, land, building, machinery are the cash, are the items for which real account rule is applicable. And the real account rule is debit what comes in, credit goes what goes out. Coming in and going out is in context of company. Is in context of company. If it is in the case of cash, is cash coming in or cash going out? Furniture coming in or furniture going out? Going out refer to sales, coming in refer to purchases in company's point of view. So this is about real account. Now coming to the last one, nominal account. Nominal account is also known as fictitious account, as it doesn't exist but we create it, and it is for all the expenses and losses and all the incomes and gains. And what will be debited, what will be credited here? What would be debited and what would be credited?
Debit expenses and losses, credit incomes and gains.
And gains, very good. So here one account would be debited if it is an expense. The cash account would be, and if it is a check, so what do you write it as? What do you name it as? If it is not cash, if it is check, what do you take it as?
To bank.
Very good. To bank. Rent account debtor to bank account, or salary account debtor to bank account. And here you have to see importantly whether under which account does the transaction fall. And here, if it is given in the name, we have to apply with personal account. If both name and cash is given, you have to apply cash. So like this, you practice all the problems in the case of journalizing, as this is what second step we go with the ledger. Okay, can you see the screen, Anna, all of you? So this is how we pass the journal entries. Now posting to the ledger. What do you mean by ledger? Ledger is also known as book of final entry or the principal book of accounts. Ledger is a book of accounts in which various accounts of personal, real and nominal are opened and maintained. It is a set of accounts. It is a set of accounts which are maintained. So what we do is we close the books of accounts when 31st March, isn't it? After closing the books of accounts, what we do is we have to post in the ledger. Posting is ledger nothing but after once you close the books of accounts, we post all the items that are there in the ledger. And here, what do you mean by ledger? So this is how we maintain the ledger. So here we have these many columns. Okay, a journal folio is not important. What do you mean by journal folio? Is nothing but the date stands for the page number or the page in which the entry is made is known as journal folio column, which is not required. You need to prepare only 3 columns, that is date, particulars, amount. Journal folio is for the accountants, for them to refer under which page did we record the transaction in journal entries. Journal entries page number we will write in the journal folio, which is not required for you because we are not accountants. We are just preparing the books of accounts. Is that clear? So this is the format for preparation of ledger accounts. Okay. Now coming to the problem. So all you have this problem. So this is what the problem which we have done yesterday, isn't it, Nana? Can you see? We have passed the journal entries for this problem. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So here, this is what we have done yesterday, day before Monday. We have done with the journal entries for this problem, isn't it? Yes or no? So this question is journalize the following transactions, post them in the ledger and the balances in the accounts on 31st March. So this includes passing the journal entries and posting in the ledger. So posting in the ledger and passing the journal entries is a big question which has 15 marks. Okay, so it's not a short question, it is a essay, one full question. So if we ask you to pass the journal entries and post in the ledger, is a one full pledge long answer. Then the second question is final accounts. He'll give you the trial balance. You need to prepare the final accounts, 3 statements, trading account, profit and loss account, and balance sheet. And if you just ask to journalize the following transactions, it would constitute 7 marks or 6 marks. Is that clear, Nana? So this is what the expected questions. And what are the theory questions that we expect? Concepts and conventions. What do you mean by double entry bookkeeping? Okay, and what is accounting equation? That I'll tell at the end. What do you mean by accounting equation? That is also one short expected question. That's it. Everything is fixed here. Whatever you get is fixed. Apart from this, there is no beyond the syllabus in the case of Unit 4. So we have done with the journal entries for this problem. Just respond. Do you remember that we have done this? Or shall I repeat once again? Journalize the following transactions. If not, I'll go directly with the ledger. Nana,
Done.
Yeah. చెప్పండి.
Clear, ma'am. చేసాం.
So మనం వెళ్దాం ledger account next. Shall we move on to the next step, ledger accounts?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So here, once we how many transactions do we have? We have 6 transactions in this problem. So once we pass the journal entries, the second one is preparation of ledger accounts. So what do you mean by ledger accounts? Just now I have showed what is the procedure, isn't it? Date column, particulars, amount. So here we just, or what you do is we divide the page into 2, and one half you will take with date, particulars, amount. The other half would be for date, particulars, and amount. One half is for debit items, one half is for the credit items. And here, For each and every company, cash account is compulsory. Why? Because there would be cash transactions. And what do you mean by ledger? Ledger is nothing but account. We open an account on the names what we occur in the journal entries. So see on the screen we have cash, isn't it? So we have to prepare cash one account. The second account would be the capital account. Are you seeing the screen and all of you? First one is cash account. Why? Because we came across cash account. Second one is capital account. The third one is purchases account. The fourth one is RAM account. Fifth one is machinery account. Then cash we have already opened. Here also cash we have already opened. Then sixth one is sales account. Then RAM account we have already opened. Cash is also there. Purchase returns account, seventh account. Then Vishal account. Okay, Vishal account, then furniture account, then we have sales return account. That's it. Okay, so these are all the accounts that we need to open in this particular problem for this particular company. So the first one is, let us say the cash. Cash is compulsory. So this would be a big account. Cash account is the first one. So what you need to do, once you pass all the journal entries, first to always open cash account. Why? Because cash account is compulsory for all the companies. So what we do, divide the page into half. Left hand side 3 columns, right hand side 3 columns. Now start with the date, particulars, amount, everything. Debit, left hand side debit and right hand side credit. And here remember, date is what, the date in which the transaction has happened. And here in the debit, whenever we take the items, we take it as two capital, two sales, two Vishal, like that. And all the credit items by machinery, by RAM, by furniture, by purchases, and so on. So how we take this two or by, and how do we take the items from the journal entries? Listen carefully and always, all of you. So the first transaction is what? Cash account data to capital account. What we are preparing, which account are we preparing now? Which account are we preparing now?
Cash account.
Yeah, cash account. The first one would be the cash account. So in cash account, we don't write cash account. We write as to capital. Okay, we write as to capital. So to capital and we take it as 95,000. And here there are two ways for you to post in the ledger. You can remember two ways. One is in cash account. We don't write it cash. What is the other account? The other account is to capital. Here we have credited it. In the cash account, we have to debit it to capital. Okay, cash we don't take it in the cash account. What is the other account? To capital account. So to capital account we have credited here, isn't it? Cash account debtor, we have debited the cash account and we have credited the capital account. So if we have credited in journal entry, we will debit in the ledger. Debit balance and entry to capital 95,000. Ilaga, this is one way where you can remember how to post in the ledger. The other account, if we have credited, we have to debit. If we have debited, we have to credit. So that is one way that you can remember to post in the ledger. The second one is, this is a blindly, what you need to do is, cash account kada, cash account lo to capital. Cash account lo cash radu. The next one. The next one is to capital. So what you do, blindly take two items in the debit side. All the two items will be taken in the debit side to capital. Pay the buy. Pay dani buy and buy purchases, like that. So these are the two ways, whichever is easy for you. As per the accounting standards procedure, the other account, if it is debited, we will credit it. If it is credited, we debit it. That is the accounting standard procedure for accountants to remember how to post. But as you are non-commerce or non-management students, you can either way remember. If you, cash account or cash radu. So what is the other account? To capital. To ante debit side also. So you have to take to capital. That's it. That is a blind way of posting the ledger. So whichever is easy for you, remember that as a logic to prepare the ledger account. So the first one is క్యాష్ అకౌంట్ డేటా టు క్యాపిటల్ అకౌంట్ అంటే మనం టు క్యాపిటల్ అకౌంట్ అని డెబిట్ సైడ్ వేసుకున్నాం. ఎంత? 98,000. నౌ సీ ది సెకండ్ ట్రాన్సాక్షన్. సెకండ్ ట్రాన్సాక్షన్లో క్యాష్ లేదు. థర్డ్ ట్రాన్సాక్షన్లో క్యాష్ ఉంది మళ్ళీ. నౌ యూ టెల్ మీ హౌ మచ్ షుడ్ ఐ టేక్ ఇన్ ది క్యాష్ అకౌంట్? మెషినరీ అకౌంట్ డేటా టు క్యాష్ అకౌంట్. So cash లో క్యాష్ రాదు, isn't it? In cash account we don't take the cash item. What is the other item? Machinery. Machinery we have debited, but here we have to, what we need to do here? What we need to do here? If we have credited cash,
Credit, ma'am.
machinery we have to credit it. And what we need to write here? Credit items కేమని రాయాలి నాన్న?
Buy.
Buy, very good, very good. Buy machinery ఎంత? 20,000. Is it clear nana? ఇలాగా ఎక్కడెక్కడైతే క్యాష్ రైట్ ఫ్రమ్ ది బిగినింగ్. ద నెక్స్ట్ వన్ ఈజ్ సి క్యాష్ అకౌంట్ డేటార్ టు సేల్స్ అకౌంట్. ఇక్కడ ఏమని వస్తుంది? వీ హ్యావ్ క్రెడిటెడ్ సేల్స్ అకౌంట్. సో వాట్ వీ నీడ్ టు డూ? ఇక్కడ ఏమన్నా
To sales.
Two sales 29,000. Is it clear, Nana? Now next ఏంటి? RAM account data to cash account. So we have debited RAM account. Now what we need to do?
Buy RAM account.
Yeah, debit the RAM, credit the RAM account by buy RAM. How much? 15,000. By RAM account 15,000. Then next RAM account cash in తర్వాత నెక్స్ట్ ఏంటి? ఫర్నిచర్ అకౌంట్ డేటా టు క్యాష్ అకౌంట్. సో హియర్ ఫర్నిచర్ వీ హ్యావ్ డెబిటెడ్. వాట్ వీ నీడ్ టు డూ?
Buy furniture account.
Yeah, buy furniture account. How much? 12,500. Then next cash to sales. What we need to do? Sales we have credited. So here,
Two sales account.
yeah, to sales account 8,500. Now the last one is cash to Vishal 10,000 to Vishal, and purchases to cash. Purchases we have debited here, so we have to credit here by 11,200. అయిపోయింది నన్ను, ఇప్పుడు అన్నీ అయిపోయినాయి. పర్చేసెస్ అకౌంట్ డేటా టు క్యాష్ అకౌంట్, అన్ని క్యాష్ ఐటమ్స్ వీ హ్యావ్ పోస్టెడ్. Now listen carefully. So what we need to do is always remember debit side would be more. Debit side balances would be always more in ledger. So what we need to do? We first need to do the total of all the debit items. Once we do the total of all the debit items, we get 1,42,500. Is it clear, Nana? First to do the total of all the debit items. So here, what is the total that we got? 1,42,500. Now listen carefully. Now come to the credit side. If by balance carried down, the 4 items, just do the total till 11,200. Do the total till 11,200 of credit items, all of you. Just tell me the total. How much, Nana? Purchases account దాకా. ఎంత వచ్చిందన్న టోటల్?
58,700.
Now 58,700 should be deducted from 1,42,500. 1,42,500. Deduct 58,700 from 1,42,500.
83,800.
83,800. The balancing figure. This is known as, remember always, this is known as balancing figure. What you need to write is by balance carried down 83,800. Is it clear, Nana? ఇది మనం ట్రయల్ బ్యాలెన్స్ లో వేసుకుంటాం. బై బ్యాలెన్స్ క్యారీడ్ డౌన్ బ్యాలెన్సింగ్ ఫిగర్ ఎంత వచ్చిందో ఆ థర్డ్ స్టెప్ ట్రయల్ బ్యాలెన్స్ లో ఇది వేసుకుంటాం. దిస్ ఈస్ నోన్ యాజ్ బ్యాలెన్సింగ్ ఫిగర్ ఆర్ ది క్లోజింగ్ బ్యాలెన్స్ ఆఫ్ క్యాష్ అకౌంట్. ఈజ్ ఇట్ క్లియర్ నానా? అర్థమైంది ఎలా వచ్చిందో 83,800. దిస్ ఈజ్ వాట్ రిటర్న్. ఇఫ్ వి రైట్ ఇన్ ది బోర్డ్ యూ విల్ క్లియర్లీ అండర్స్టాండ్. బట్ యాజ్ హియర్ we are already given the solution, so we get this. First we do the total of all the debit items, then total of all the credit items. Always debit item total would be more, so deduct the total of credit items from debit items. The answer what you get is known as the balance in figure. ఈజ్ ఇట్ క్లియర్ నాన్న? దిస్ ఈజ్ హౌ వి ప్రిపేర్ క్యాష్ అకౌంట్. ఇలాగా ఇప్పుడు నేను ఎన్ని 9 అకౌంట్స్ చెప్పాను కదా, 9 అకౌంట్స్ యూ హ్యావ్ టు ప్రిపేర్ ద సేమ్ వే. సో క్యాపిటల్ అకౌంట్ మన ఫస్ట్ ట్రాన్సాక్షన్ ఏంటి? క్యాష్ అకౌంట్ డెటార్ టు క్యాపిటల్ అకౌంట్. క్యాపిటల్ అకౌంట్లో క్యాపిటల్ రాదు, ఏమొస్తుంది? బై క్యాష్. దేర్ వీ హ్యావ్ డెబిటెడ్, హియర్ వి విల్ క్రెడిట్. హౌ మచ్? బై క్యాష్ 95,000. అండ్ ఇక్కడ ఇంకా వేరే ఏ ఐటమ్స్ లేవు కాబట్టి ఈ టోటలే ఈ టోటల్ సేమ్ అయిపోయింది. లేకపోతే నార్మల్లీ వాట్ వీ విల్ డూ, వీ టేక్ ది టోటల్ విచ్ ఇట్ ఈస్ మోర్ అండ్ డిడక్ట్ ది అదర్ యాజ్ ది బ్యాలెన్సింగ్ ఫిగర్. Is that clear? So for cash account, debit item would be more. For the other accounts, credit items would be more. So rather you see which total is more and deduct the other from the other. Debit credit ఇవన్నీ కన్ఫ్యూజ్ కాకుండా do the total. Which column total is more, take it the total in 2 columns. The remaining total remove it and take the balancing figure. Now RAM account లో కూడా 27,000లో నుంచి ఈ 2 తీసేస్తే బ్యాలెన్సింగ్ ఫిగర్ 11,500 వచ్చింది. దిస్ ఈజ్ నోన్ యాజ్ బ్యాలెన్సింగ్ ఫిగర్. పర్చేజెస్లో కూడా అంతే, 2 RAM 2 క్యాష్. ఇక్కడ ఏమీ లేవు కాబట్టి బై బ్యాలెన్స్ క్యారీడ్ డౌన్ 38,200. ఏమీ లేకపోతే జస్ట్ టేక్ ది టోటల్, దట్స్ ఇట్. బై బ్యాలెన్స్ క్యారీడ్ డౌన్ అని 2 కాలమ్స్ సేమ్ చేసారు. అండ్ పర్చేజెస్కి ఎంత ట్రయల్ బ్యాలెన్స్ తీసుకునే 38,200. దెన్ సేల్స్ కూడా అంతే. దెన్ విశాల్ అకౌంట్, మెషినరీ అకౌంట్, వీటికి ఏమీ లేవు కాబట్టి వాట్ ఎవర్ ది టోటల్ హియర్ ఇట్ ఈస్ ద సేమ్ వుడ్ బి ద ఫర్ ది అదర్. సేల్స్ రిటర్న్, పర్చేజ్ రిటర్న్. సో లైక్ దిస్ 9 accounts we have prepared from this problem. So this is the procedure for journalizing the transactions and posting in the ledger. Is it clear, Nana? Any doubts ikkada daka? We have done with the 60% of final accounts, unit 4. 60 or 70 అనుకోవచ్చు. మన ఏమైనా డౌట్స్ ఉన్నాయా ఇక్కడ దాకా? ఇఫ్ నాట్ ఐ ప్రొసీడ్ విత్ ద మెయిన్ లాస్ట్ స్టెప్, ఫైనల్ అకౌంట్స్. ఇలాగా వాట్ ఎవర్ యూ గెట్ యూ హ్యావ్ టు రైట్ ఆల్, కవర్ ఆల్ ఫ్రమ్ ఫస్ట్ జర్నల్ ఎంట్రీ టు ది లాస్ట్ జర్నల్ ఎంట్రీ. లాస్ట్ జర్నల్ ఎంట్రీ ఇక్కడ సేల్స్ రిటర్న్ దాకా చూడండి. మనం కూడా ఇక్కడ సేల్స్ రిటర్న్ లాస్ట్ అకౌంట్. అర్థమైందన్నా? నన్ను ప్లీజ్ రెస్పాండ్. జాహ్నవి, ఆర్ యూ దేర్? ఆర్ యూ అండర్స్టాండింగ్? నో రెస్పాన్స్ ఫ్రమ్ యూ. జాహ్నవి, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, did you follow? No response from last few days.
I'm not really texting or talking in classes.
Nana,
I was not feeling well the past few days, ma'am.
that's not, you are not regular. You are regular. Sorry, you are regular.
I'm attending the classes, ma'am, but I'm just not.
Yeah. So are you fine now?
A bit better, ma'am.
What is the problem?
Something like a
The others is ఏంటి? 3 rules to pass the journal entries. Journal entries అయిన తర్వాత లెడ్జర్ ఎట్లాగా? యూ హ్యావ్ టు స్టార్ట్ విత్ ది ఫస్ట్ అకౌంట్. అండ్ ప్లీజ్ రిమెంబర్, అన్ని కంపెనీస్కి పర్చేజెస్ కామన్ ఉంటుంది, సేల్స్ కామన్ ఉంటుంది, క్యాపిటల్ అకౌంట్ కామన్ ఉంటుంది, క్యాష్ అకౌంట్ కామన్ ఉంటుంది. ఇవన్నీ దీస్ ఆర్ ది కామన్ థింగ్స్. సో దీస్ విల్ కమ్ ఫర్ ఆల్. బట్ వాట్ యూ నీడ్ టు డూ, చెక్ ఫ్రమ్ ఫస్ట్ ట్రాన్సాక్షన్ టిల్ last journal entry and see what all accounts will come in there. You have to open the accounts. First cash. And what is the rule for that? For ledger accounts, prepare 3 columns left hand side, prepare 3 columns right hand side. And remember, particulars column should be little big, amount in rupees. So 3 left, 3 right, And now start with date particulars amount in rupees, debit side. Date particulars amounts in rupees, credit side. Then start with cash account. Cash account, what we do? In cash account, we don't take cash item notes. We have to see what is the other account. If the other account is debited, we will credit here. Credit until buy. Debit until to. This is what the rule, not only for the cash account, but for all the accounts that will occur in the journal entries which we have passed in the journal entries. And remember, లెడ్జర్ ఎప్పుడు అడుగుతాడు, ఎప్పుడు వాళ్ళు జర్నల్ ఎంట్రీస్ ఇస్తేనే అడుగుతాడు. ఎప్పుడైనా రేర్ ఆఫ్ రేర్ హీ విల్ గివ్ యూ ది జర్నల్ ఎంట్రీస్ అండ్ ఆస్క్ టు పోస్ట్ ఇన్ ది లెడ్జర్. Is that clear? But the examiner will not put such an effort. What he'll do is he'll ask both pass the journal entries and post in the ledger. That is 15 marks, full big question. And full పడిపోతే నాన్న ఇక్కడ మార్క్స్ లెస్ అనేది ఉండదు వన్స్ యూ బీ థరో విత్ దిస్. Okay, it would be very easy for you once you are thorough with this, and there is no concept of deduction of marks at all. అండ్ ఫైనల్ అకౌంట్స్ లాగా టాలీ కాదా అట్లా ఏమి ఉండదు. లెడ్జర్ వస్తే లెడ్జర్ అయితే ఈజీ, జర్నల్ వస్తే కూడా ఈజీ, బికాస్ హియర్ యూ నో ది రూల్స్, ఇజంట్ ఇట్? దట్స్ ఇట్. సో షల్ వి ప్రొసీడ్ ఆన్ టు ది మెయిన్ ప్రాబ్లమ్స్, ఫైనల్ అకౌంట్స్, ది లాస్ట్ ఇన్ యూనిట్ 4.
Yes, ma'am.
Nana, Nina, someone have asked me to forward. I have forwarded. You have the questions, isn't it? I don't know who have asked the name yesterday, who have messaged me. Is he there in the class? Yeah. Got it, Nana? Okay. 5:20, నేను ఎవరినన్నా నాకు వాట్సాప్ చేసింది? అనిల్. ఓకే ఓకే నా. ఓకే, సో విల్ స్టార్ట్. షల్ వి స్టార్ట్? యా. Is this the time to enter? Almost we are virgin completion of the syllabus and still the same behavior. So now this is what the format, and all of you, can you see the screen? So here the first step is journal entries, passing the journal entries based on the rules. Second one, ledger based on the rules what we have discussed. Third one is trial balance, and here what do you mean by trial balance? How do you get the trial balance amounts? Just now I have told you. Can you tell me, Nana? What are the balances that we get in trial balance? ట్రయల్ బ్యాలెన్స్లో వస్తుంది అని ఇందాక చెప్పాం కదా, సేల్స్ అమౌంట్, క్యాష్ అమౌంట్ ఎక్కడి నుంచి వస్తుంది? హౌ డు వి గెట్ ఇట్?
By subtracting which the credit side or debit side, which side is more?
దాన్ని ఏమంటాం? బ్యాలెన్సింగ్ ఫిగర్స్. ఓకే.
Yes, ma'am.
Balancing figures like each account. And how do you get it? We do the total of debit items and do the total of credit items. The balancing, what do you mean by balancing? We make the both total same and see the balancing figure. So any accounts on balancing figures if we prepare, that is known as trial balance. Is it clear? That is known as trial balance, and this would be the concept. See here, this is the trial balance, and here for each thing we have the closing balances, cash balance, carriage, debtors, like that. We will have the closing balances in the trial balance. So here, in the case of final accounts, the last step in unit 4, preparation of final accounts. What are the 3 accounts we prepare here? Final accounts, so what are the 3 accounts we prepare? Trading account, profit and loss account, and balance sheet. And here, how do we prepare the final accounts is, he gives us the ready-made trial balance. He gives us the ready-made trial balance, and we need to prepare the trading account here. Is it clear, Nana? we need to prepare the final account. So the format for trading account is this. Okay. First account that need to be prepared is trading account. The second account to be prepared is profit and loss account. The third account is the balance sheet. So balance sheet asset side total should be equal to the liability side. So right side we name it as assets, left side we name it as liabilities. This is the format of balance sheet. This is the format of profit and loss account, and this is the format of trading account. Trading account reveals what? Gross profit. The balancing figure we name here as gross profit. Is it clear, Nana? Balancing figure of trading account is known as gross profit. Balancing figure of profit and loss account is known as net profit. Okay, and we have format of balance sheet. He'll give you the Redmit trading trial balance. This is what the trial balance. Okay, he'll give you like this. He will give you the problem. From the following trial balance, prepare the final accounts. Is what the question would be. Is it clear, Nana? Illaga trial balance istadu. He'll ask you to prepare the final accounts. What are the three accounts? These are the three accounts. This is what the format. So, eppudaina sare remember, the first item would be 2 opening stock. Is it clear, Nana? 2 opening stock ani debit items. Debit ikkada kuda 2, ikkada buy. Okay, all the debit items will start with 2. All the credit items will start with buy. So opening stock will be given here. So how much is the opening stock? 1800. Ikkada 1800 తీసుకోవాలి. Is that clear, Nana? The first item always would be opening stock. The last year's closing stock would be this year's opening stock. So how will you take? The first item would be ఇది ఫిక్స్డ్ ఫార్మాట్, ఇలాగే చేయాలని. కాకపోతే ఏవి ఉంటే అవే తీసుకోవాలి. అలా అని మిగతా వాటికి ఇట్లా ఇంటూలు పెట్టద్దు. ఏ ఐటమ్ ఉంటే అన్ని కంపెనీస్లో అన్నీ ఉండాలని కాదు. Is that clear? As you do on problems, you will get practiced here. So this is what you can see. Opening stock is the first item. Select opening stock from the trial balance and take the amount. And always the second item would be 2 purchases. 2 purchases ani ఒకవేళ ఈ ట్రయల్ బ్యాలెన్స్ పర్చేజ్ రిటర్న్స్ అని ఇస్తే you have to deduct it from the purchases. How will you deduct? Write purchases in the inner column, less purchase returns in the outer column, and put the net amount in the outer column. This is how we take, that is known as purchases. ఒకవేళ purchase returns ఇవ్వకపోతే directly we take in the outer column. Then the next one is carriage inwards. What do you mean by carriage inwards? Carriage inwards, when we bring the stock inside the factory, the traveling expenses or transport expenses are known as carriage inwards. Okay, carriage inwards are nothing but the transportation cost. Now coming to the next one, freight and octroi. Freight and octroi is nothing but insurance or the duties what we pay when we bring the raw material inside the factory. Freight and octroi refer to the duties and taxes what we pay when we bring any raw material inside the factory. And 2 wages. So always remember, wages will come in the trading account, salaries will come in the profit and loss account. And trading account is prepared only to calculate factory level expenses. Okay, only factory level expenses. Direct expenses would be taken in trading account. Migitha expenses only will take in the profit and loss account. Freight and octroi is an trading account expense. Wages will come in the trading account. Salaries will come in profit and loss account. Then fuel, power, gas, coal, electricity production, ivanni kuda comes in the trading account. Any duties, ivanni royalty or factory rent, insurance expenses will all be taken in the debit side. Now coming to the credit side, by sales given, if any sales returns are there, we deduct the sales returns and then put the net item in the outer column. Then closing stock, always remember closing stock will be given in the adjustments. You have to take here. I'll show what do you mean by adjustments. Closing stock will come here. So always we have only 2 items, and if at all there is a loss, you have to take loss here. Profit will come here, loss will be coming here. Is that clear? And when do you get the loss? When debit items total is more than credit items. But always credit items will be more than debit items. We mostly get profit only. And how do you get the gross profit as a balancing figure? Do the total column of credit and to the total column of credit, deduct debit from the credit, you will get the balancing figure as the gross profit. This gross profit will be brought in the profit and loss account by gross profit brought down. Is that clear? So all the factory level expenses would be taken only in the trading account. Office level expenses will be taken in the profit and loss account. So any doubts still here, Nana, till trading account? Any doubts till trading account? Shall we move on to the profit and loss account?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. The second
Ma'am,
line.
could you go a bit slow, ma'am?
Am I fast?
Little bit, ma'am.
Yeah. Shall I explain once again this one or shall I move on to the profit and loss account?
Move on, ma'am.
Move on. Okay. Now going to the profit and loss account. So from where did we get this profit and loss account? ikkada profit, ikkada right side credit తీసుకున్నాను by gross profit. Okay, by gross profit. ఇందులో నుంచి we take all the factory level incomes and expenses. ఇక్కడేమో సేల్స్ అండ్ క్లోజింగ్ స్టాక్ లో నుంచి ఈ ఫ్యాక్టరీ లెవెల్ ఎక్స్పెన్సెస్ అన్ని మైనస్ చేస్తే we got the gross profit. This gross profit will be transferred to profit and loss account by gross profit brought down. ikkada carried down, ikkada brought down. C by D ante carried down, D by D ante brought down. So this we bought from trading account. If this goes wrong, your trading account is wrong and your profit and loss account will also go wrong and your balance sheet will not tally. So you have to be careful by selecting each and every item from the trial balance which is given like this. Okay, heat light factory lo use chestam, isn't it? Heating and lighting for the machinery, not for the office. You know the distinction between office and factory, Nana? General ga, common ga. Office level is different, factory level is different. Is it clear, Nana?
Yes, ma'am.
ఫ్యాక్టరీ లెవెల్ అన్నీ కూడా ట్రేడింగ్ అకౌంట్, ఆఫీస్ లెవెల్ అన్నీ కూడా. అందుకే వేజెస్ ఫ్యాక్టరీ లేబర్కి ఇస్తాం, సాలరీస్ ఎంప్లాయీస్కి ఇస్తాం, isn't it? So we take salaries here. So ఈ గ్రాస్ ప్రాఫిట్ విచ్ వి బ్రాట్ హియర్. నౌ లాస్ అయితే ఇటు వస్తుంది, ప్రాఫిట్ అయితే ఇటు వస్తుంది. ఓకే, లాస్ చాలా రేర్ అవుట్ ఆఫ్ రేర్, ఆల్వేస్ దే వుడ్ బి ఎ ప్రాఫిట్ ఓన్లీ. అండ్ హియర్ the first item is salary. All the office level expenses we will take here and all the incomes will be taken in the credit side. So here salaries, rent, traveling, rate and expenses, rates and taxes, printing and stationery, telephone and telegraph, insurance, interest paid, discount allowed, sundry expenses, sundry and miscellaneous. Okay, discount allowed, advertising. Now carriage outwards. Carriage outwards is nothing but when we finish off our products, we send it outside, isn't it? So when we send the goods outside, we have transport expenses. So that is known as carriage outwards. Always remember, carriage inwards comes in trading account when goods come inside our factory. Goods ante nothing but purchases. And carriage outwards are for the sales when goods are going out of the factory. So inwards ante trading account, outwards ante profit and loss account. Now coming to the next one, discount allowed is an expense, discount received is an income. Okay, so see whether the discount is allowed or received. Then all other expenses will come here. Commission paid, bad debts. What do you mean by bad debts? Debtors are the people who owe to the company, under which it's not compulsory that all the 100% will pay off to the company. Out of that, certain percentage would be bad. Bad until they don't pay. They tell that we are insolvent, we can't pay or whatever. The company would be incapable of collecting the debts from the debtors. So those we name it as bad debts. So that will also come in the profit and loss account. Then legal charges, audit fee, all other expenses which are not there in trading will now come in the profit and loss account. Now here all the incomes, interest paid is an expense, interest received is an income, commission given is an expense, commission received is an income, discount allowed is an expense, discount received, rent received, dividends received, royalty received. So now what we do again, we do the total of credit side and we do the total of debit side. So from the total of debit side, credit side, we remove the total of debit side to get the balancing figure, net profit. This is known as net profit. The balancing figure in trade profit and loss account is known as net profit. Okay. Is it clear, Nana? Any doubts still here? Is it clear, all of you? All the incomes to be credited, all the expenses to be debited. Any doubts?
ma'am. No, ma'am.
Shall we move on to the balance sheet?
Yes, ma'am.
What we have found out in trading account, Nana? What is the answer that we have found out, the output in trading account?
Gross profit.
Very good, gross profit. And what is the output that we have found out in profit and loss account?
Net profit and
Net.
net loss.
Yeah, very good. Net profit. Now listen, in net profit, whatever the answer we have got, we will add to the capital in the liability side of the balance sheet. This is the format of balance sheet. Is it clear, Nana? This is the format of balance sheet, the last accounting statement in final accounts. Capital will be given in the trial balance. You have to add net profit. Now, what is the net profit? This is what the net profit that we got in profit and loss account. Loss అయితే డిడక్ట్ చేస్తాము, ప్రాఫిట్ అయితే యాడ్ చేస్తాము క్యాపిటల్కి. క్యాపిటల్ అకౌంట్ విల్ బి గివెన్ ఇన్ ది ట్రయల్ బ్యాలెన్స్ లైక్ దిస్. సి క్యాపిటల్, capital and 4,000, isn't it? So for that we add net profit. If it is loss, we deduct the loss. Is it clear, Nana? So that is the first item that we have in liabilities. Take the opening balance of capital given in the trial balance, add net profit that you got in profit and loss account. So now you remember, Nana, it is a chain. Gross profit tappelte net profit kuda tappustundi, net profit kuda tappuste ఇక్కడ బ్యాలెన్స్ షీట్లో ఫిగర్స్ తప్పు వెళ్తాయి. సో యూ హ్యావ్ టు బీ కేర్ఫుల్ యాజ్ టు విచ్ ఐటమ్ కమ్స్ వేర్. ఇఫ్ యూ ప్రాక్టీస్ యూ కెన్ ఈజీలీ డూ ఇట్. ఓకే. నౌ సో నెట్ ప్రాఫిట్ షుడ్ బి యాడెడ్. డ్రాయింగ్స్ అని he will give you in the trial balance. If at all it is there, you have to deduct. If it is not there, you have put the net item in the outer column. Drawings ante nothing but they have withdrawn for their personal use from the capital account. The owners of the business have withdrawn for their personal use in the business. So we have to deduct it from the total of capital. If drawings are not given, add net profit to the capital and put the adding amount in the outer column, in the amount column. Then long-term loans unte తీసుకోవాలి Nana. If it is given in the trial balance, sundry creditors you have to take whatever given. Outstanding expense. What do you mean by outstanding expense? It is a current liability. Outstanding expenses refer to will be given in the adjustment. You have to pay but didn't pay. Expenses need to be paid but didn't pay are known as outstanding expense. Like insurance, pay cheyali kani cheyaledu. Okay. Or even rent, need to pay but didn't pay. So these are known as outstanding. Should pay but didn't pay. Next, bills payable. Bills payable are nothing but we have taken the goods but we didn't pay him. That is known as bills payable. Bank overdraft. You know what do you mean by bank overdraft? Now let me know what do you mean by bank overdraft. It's a current liability. What do you mean by bank overdraft? Anyone in the class?
Loan.
లోన్ మనం చదువుకున్నాం కదా, ఏంటది? విత్డ్రాయింగ్ మోర్ అమౌంట్ దెన్ ది బ్యాలెన్స్ from the account is known as bank overdraft, isn't it? It is a short-term or mid-term or long-term source of finance. Is it a short?
Long term.
It's a long-term bank overdraft. Bank overdraft long-term, conventional and non-conventional, no?
Non-conventional.
Short-term source.
Non-conventional, it is short-term, isn't it? It is a short-term source of finance. Mid-term kuda kaadu, short-term, isn't it? We have commercial papers, we have bank overdraft, we have trade credit, and what is the last one? As 4 sources of short-term finance. Debt factoring or credit factoring. Do you remember now? Yes, Nana? All of you?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So, yeah, now doing the total of all the liabilities is what? Now coming to the asset side, all the items will be given in the trial balance. You have to just take all. Prepaid expenses are nothing but paid in advance. We need to pay next year, we have paid this year only. That is known as prepaid expenses. Reverse of sundry creditors is sundry debtors. Sundry creditors is the people who we need to pay. Sundry debtors are the people who owe to the company, who have to pay to the company. Bills receivable is we have issued the bill, they have to pay us. Cash at bank, cash at hand. So these all come under current assets. Building, balance, furniture, everything you have to take it. And here the total of asset side should always be equal to the total of liability side. Is it clear now? This is the end of the final accounts. First prepare trading account by taking opening stock till gross profit. Then profit and loss account. Profit and loss account reveals net profit. Then balance sheet. This is the end of unit 4 now. So this is how we need to do, and we have adjustments. Once you are acquainted with this, we will start with the problems. Okay? We'll start with the problems. And what do you mean by adjustments? Adjustments is additional information given. Adjustment is additional information given. So here see the question. There are 2 partners in a firm sharing profit and losses in equal proportion. Following is a trial balance. Prepare trading account, profit and loss account, and balance sheet in the books of these 2, Hira and Manik. So this is what the trading account, profit and loss account, and this is what the balance sheet. So this is how we need to prepare. Okay. See opening stock given here. How much is the opening stock? 30,000. So 30,000 is the opening stock. So there are no purchases. 80,000 carriage inwards, 2 wages. Sales returns are there 950. See sales returns 950. Return inwards and sales returns outwards and purchase returns. Okay. Just take down if you get confused. Return inwards will come in trading account. Return outward, carriage inwards comes in trading account. Carriage outwards comes in profit and loss account. Return inwards ante sales returns. Return outwards ante purchase returns. Just write down in your books. Okay. Opening stock. Okay, Nana. So this is all about the concept of this one. We'll start with the problems in the next class. Okay. Practice the format and this problem also. We'll go with the adjustments and problem in the next class. Is it clear, Nana? Any doubts here? So this is the one full-fledged problem that we have, and this is what final accounts, preparation of final accounts. the big main question. So he'll give you the trial balance like this, and you have to prepare first trading account, then profit and loss account. So trading account gives gross profit, profit and loss account reveals net profit, and balance sheet is what the total of asset side should be equal to the total of liability side. Is it clear, Nana? Any doubts you have?
Ma'am, can you share this PDF?
Yeah, now itself I'll share. Tell me anyone's email ID, I'll just forward it. Now itself. చెప్పండి నా ఈమెయిల్ ఐడి ఎవరిదైనా సిఆర్స్ ఆర్ ఎనీవన్స్ I'll just forward it now itself. From all who have joined just now, journal entries, everything is there now till the final accounts. So we'll do problems tomorrow with the adjustments. One problem with all the adjustments. What do you mean by adjustments? Adjustments are nothing but the additional information that would be given in the trial balance. So that we have to do. Adjustments should be done. Is it clear, Nana? Shall we wind the class today? I've sent just now.